Before we begin, if you are someone who believes in real stories, stories that reach into your chest, stories about choices, love, regret, and the moments that change everything, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, give this video a strong like, and when the story ends, tell me in the comments which moment struck your heart the most, because tonight's tale is not just about love and it's not simply about betrayal, it is about a single choice, one decision that can change the entire map of a life. There are moments in our lives, rare, quiet, and devastating, where time seems to hold its breath. Your breathing changes, your heartbeat echoes differently in your chest, and suddenly every step you've taken, every decision you've ever made, feels like it has carried you right here to this exact edge, a place where you know there is no turning back. That night was one of those moments for me. There was no chaos, no dramatic storm, yet something inside me began to move, to break, to shift for weeks, no months. A strange hollow space had been widening inside me, a loneliness with a shape, with a sound. It followed me everywhere, a silent companion trailing me through every room of our house. I was 54, yet my spirit felt older, like decades of heaviness lived inside my bones. Some mornings I would stare into the mirror and fail to recognize the woman staring back. She wasn't just exhausted in the way sleep could solve, she was emptied out piece by piece. My marriage to Albert had frozen long ago. He was 65 now, aging faster than the days around him. His laughter had vanished, his touch had disappeared, and the quiet between us had become a solid wall. Our conversations had reduced to small passing remarks about dinner, about bills, about everything except what mattered: love, passion, warmth. Every bit of it had been buried under the weight of repetition. Most evenings, Albert would drift into sleep on the living room couch, the television's glow flickering across his aging face. Other nights, he would hide away in his study for hours, pretending to read, pretending he had work, pretending he didn't see how far away I had drifted. And maybe that was the part that cut the deepest. He didn't even pretend to care. I once believed marriage meant growing old side by side, not slowly drifting into separate worlds while living under the same roof. Yet there I was, sharing a home with a man who no longer saw me, who no longer reached for my hand, who seemed to have forgotten the woman I was before time smoothed me into someone unrecognizable. I tried to drown the silence with chores, hobbies, little distractions that meant nothing. But you can only paint over a crack for so long before it splits wide open again. And that night, it finally did. I still don't know what snapped inside me. Maybe it was anger, maybe sorrow, maybe the ache of being tired for too many years. Whatever it was, I reached for my phone, and before I could talk myself out of it, I dialed Hector, Albert's nephew, 27, alive in a way I hadn't been in years, and perhaps the only person left who still noticed me. Hector wasn't just family anymore. Somewhere along the way, he became someone I trusted. Our conversations always started harmless, yet somehow they slipped into places they shouldn't have. He listened when I confessed how invisible I felt, how I was fading into a life that no longer fit me. He never criticized me. He simply listened, really listened. That night, my voice shook when I spoke into the phone. "Hector," I whispered, "come over. Your uncle's asleep. I I can't stay here anymore." There was silence. He didn't rush with questions because he already understood. He had heard the truth hiding inside every pause, every heavy breath I had ever shared with him. When I ended the call, I sat in the dark for what felt like ages. The ticking clock on the wall suddenly sounded like a hammer, every second pounding into me like a reminder of how long I had been waiting for something, anything to change. Was I truly ready to walk away? Or was I begging for someone to finally hold me back? Albert wouldn't. I knew that well. He had stopped noticing whether I stayed or disappeared long before I ever thought of leaving. But Hector, when he finally said, "I'll be there soon," something in the way his voice held me, steady, cautious, certain, kept me from falling apart, frozen where I sat. An hour later, I heard the door ease open. Albert was still asleep on the couch, his light snoring filling the room like a reminder of everything we had become. I looked at him, not with rage anymore, but with a quiet, heavy disappointment that didn't need words. He didn't even move when I pulled my suitcase across the floor, and then I saw Hector. He entered slowly, his eyes searching for mine the moment he stepped inside. "Diana," he said, his voice soft, steady, but carrying something beneath it. "Worry may